वेल आज का दिन कुछ ज़्यादा अच्छा नहीं है। अभी मैं थोड़ी देर पहले एयरपोर्ट जाने के लिए कार ऑन किया तो कार ने क्रिटिकल एरर्स दिखा दिया और पता नहीं एयरपोर्ट आज मैं कैसे जाऊंगा। हाँ ऑन तो हो गया।
अभी तुम किधर भी जा सकते हो, कोई प्रॉब्लम।
There is a fear in me that next time when I try to start the vehicle, will it not and will it throw me any errors? There is also the IRA app which is boon, but then only when it works. Hey everyone, welcome to another vlog. Today I'm going to be talking about the not so good side of the overall experience with Tata Curvv EV, and I think that is going to be with any other car or any other EV. So recently I faced the first issue with the car. I was planning to go to the airport to pick my parents, but around 2 p.m. when I had gone down to start the car, I realized the car wasn't responding anymore. Well, आज का दिन कुछ ज़्यादा अच्छा नहीं है। अभी मैं थोड़ी देर पहले एयरपोर्ट जाने के लिए कार ऑन किया तो कार ने क्रिटिकल एरर्स दिखा दिया। अभी मैं इसको फिर से ट्राई करूँगा। साइड असिस्टेंस के लिए भी अभी कॉल किया है तो वो अभी आएंगे कि ट्राई करेंगे, शायद जंप स्टार्ट करने का ट्राई करेंगे और फिर देखते हैं कैसे स्टार्ट होता है और पता नहीं एयरपोर्ट आज मैं कैसे जाऊँगा। Since I'm part of some amazing groups where other Tata Curvv EV owners have shared their experience and their troubleshooting experience on how to tackle such situations, I kind of knew the basic steps, so I followed their recommendations and disconnected the negative terminal, tried to fix it myself, but also called for roadside assistance in the meanwhile so that I don't get delayed for getting to the airport. The good side was that I had more than 1 hour before I had to actually leave. But the situation was basically, so I had driven 1 day before in the evening and just the regular way I have driven in the past, parked the same way as I have parked in the past, nothing out of usual. And the battery was about 62%, so I was not even planning to charge. I could go to the airport and come back easily. That would be about a 100-kilometer drive. But when I tried to turn on the vehicle, it simply did not respond in the beginning. And as I was mentioning, the other owners have shared their experiences, so I kind of knew what could have gone wrong. So I immediately tried to release the negative terminal of the battery under the hood, the auxiliary battery, and left it for some time. It did not work out. तो ये मैंने बोनट खोल लिया है और मैंने नेगेटिव टर्मिनल को प्लग आउट करके रखा था। मेरे पास कोई ग्लव्स नहीं थे तो मैंने क्लीनिंग क्लॉथ से ही कर लिया नेगेटिव टर्मिनल को डिस्कनेक्ट, बट ये ऑलरेडी काफ़ी लूज़ था। अब मैंने फिर से कनेक्ट किया है। अब लेट्स सी कि सिंपली कनेक्ट करने से होता है क्या। कनेक्ट करने से एक चीज़ जो बदलता है कि इसका लाइट एटलीस्ट ऑन हो जाता है। अब लेट्स सी कि कार स्टार्ट होता है या नहीं। तो अभी उन्हीं का फ़ोन आया था, आ रहे हैं RSA से, और तब तक ज़रा ये ट्राई करते हैं कि मैंने ब्रेक दबाया। ये सिर्फ इतने में आके रुक जा रहा है। I think battery हो चुका है dead. So those guys showed up about 45 minutes after that. But the interesting thing is Tata has, for this issue, they basically asked me what kind of error am I getting, and I mentioned it's the aux battery, not the main battery. So instead of sending the actual roadside assistance who could tow the vehicle to the dealership, they sent a guy from the local battery shop with whom they have partnered with. It's an Excite shop, maybe 1.5 kilometers away from here. And also the challenge was that my car was parked in P2, and getting a towing vehicle there and towing it from there would not be wouldn't be possible. And I don't think you can push around an EV to do anything, because you can't even change the gear when the car is not turning on. It is by default in park and it won't move when it is in park mode. I don't know, maybe there are some under hood options that can release that, but as a simple user, I don't have a way to push my car to for any reason. If it is not starting, then I need to call for the roadside assistance. In this case, the battery guy showed up, as I was mentioning, about 40 minutes after I made the call. I got multiple calls in between for follow-up that did the guy reach out and what kind of issue are you facing, and checking if the towing thing can happen or not. But finally they said that, okay, let the battery guy try to do his part. And if he's not able to do it, then we'll figure out how to tow your vehicle. but they also recommended that if the vehicle starts, just bring it to a surface level where we can tow the vehicle if required. And also the RSA person said that don't drive the car, bring it to the nearest service station so that we can check. But I was kind of pretty sure like the car had driven completely fine the previous day. And when I was under the hood and trying to release the negative terminal of the battery, it was so loose that I could simply pull it out. So I kind of had the feeling that it was not getting charged properly, and that's why this issue was happening.
तो अभी रोड पे असिस्टेंस से बैटरी जंप स्टार्ट करने के लिए आए हैं मंजू जी। तो मोस्ट लाइकली वो इसका नेगेटिव टर्मिनल लूज था, तो इसलिए शायद इसका बैटरी ये अभी उसको टाइट कर रहे हैं। एंड अभी टाइट करने के बाद जंप स्टार्ट भी करना पड़ेगा। जंप स्टार्ट करने के लिए वो बैटरी अपने साथ लेके आए हैं। ये अच्छा है कि ये इजीली हो जाएगा। और ये करने के बाद फिर मैं ड्राइव कर सकता हूँ? अच्छा, ओके, तब तो फिर एयरपोर्ट जाने का हो जाएगा आज से। अच्छा, और इसका और कुछ होता है क्या अंदर का लाइट वाइट ऑन होने से या कुछ और से?
नहीं, ये व्हीकल में ऑन नहीं और शट डाउन हो जाएगा,
खुद से ऑफ हो जाता है। हाँ,
खुद से बंद हो जाएगा।
जिन लोग का क्वेश्चन होता है, ये है वो मैजिकल स्पैनर 910 नंबर जिससे सारा कुछ लाइट होता है। एंड
ये भी चेक कर दिया।
ये भी चेक कर रहे थे कि ऑलरेडी ये बहुत ज़्यादा लूज था, क्योंकि मैं अपने हाथ से सिंपली कर लिया।
स्टार्ट कर सकते।
अच्छा, ठीक है, तो अभी ये प्लग हो गया है। अब मैं स्टार्ट करके देखता हूँ कि ये स्टार्ट हो रहा है नहीं। अच्छा, वैसे अंदर तो इग्निशन सब आ ही गया है, एसी भी चल रहा है। ऑन कर लूँ? हाँ, ऑन तो हो गया। बस ये बैटरी हेल्थ पुअर बता रहा है, तो वो चार्ज करने से हो जाएगा।
ओके, अभी तुम किधर भी जा सकते हो, कोई प्रॉब्लम।
ओके, परफेक्ट, ठीक है। अब इमीडिएटली सब कुछ फंक्शनैलिटी वापस आ गया, एसी चल रहा है।
So when this guy came, he was like, he tried to check and he was like, yes, this is very loose. As if like, even at the factory, they have not even tightened it. They have just placed the terminals and just left it. I've already driven my car for about 2 months and 6,000 kilometers. Somehow nothing happened before this, but it became loose, I think, over time or whatever is the case. So this guy, the battery guy, he simply plugged his battery and tried to jumpstart the car. And as soon as he plugged in, I could hear the regular chimes of the EV. And when I tried to start the car, it worked perfectly fine. In the beginning, it was showing the low health error or some kind of error like that. But yeah, it was expected since the battery had drained out. With the jumper cable from the battery, I kept the vehicle on for about 5 minutes. Then the guy plugged it out, and his recommendation was that just leave it running for at least 30 minutes so the battery gets charged, and after that you can do whatever you want. And I was anyways planning to go to the airport, so I asked him like, do you think there is any issue in that? And at that point I was kind of not even thinking of the option that I will not drive to the airport or not take the car. So I thought let's see, whatever will happen will happen. And I left the car for about 20 minutes or so, got my stuff from the apartment, and we started driving to the airport. No issues after that. Even after coming back, like it's been 2 days since the issue happened, there is a fear in me that next time when I try to start the vehicle, it will start or will it not, and will it throw me any errors. But so far, for the last 2 days, it is working fine. We did a very short trip after the airport again to Nandi Hill. Just talking about engine issues in the car, there are some minor glitches, both mechanical and technical. When I say mechanical, there is some third sound from the suspensions when I go at a higher speed from any kind of bumps or any irregularities. But other than that, I have not faced physical issues as such. In terms of the tech issues, there are minor glitches like Android Auto very rarely disconnects on its own and then reconnects within few seconds. Doesn't really disrupt anything, but just breaks the flow of the music. Other thing that kind of is irritating is the settings in the center driving console. There are by default some 6-7 options, and most of them are not something that I use on a daily basis. I mainly toggle between the trip meter and the ADAS function. and navigation if I'm using that. So I try to deselect all of these options, but I think every time I have restarted the car, it goes back to the default. I'm not sure if I'm doing something wrong. Maybe you can tell me if there is a way to permanently change this setting. So I only see the 4 or 5 things which I've selected, not the list of all the options that are shown there. There is also the IRA app, which is boon, but then only when it works. I was just going through the ratings on the App Store. That is abysmal, like 2.6 rating, I think, out of all. And they have been doing a lot of updates, but every time they do an update, we have a fear that will it work better or worse? And when I say we, I'm like, so basically the groups that I was mentioning about, so one of them is a WhatsApp group, and all the Curvv EV owners specifically are there. There are about 60 to 70 members. It's not everybody in India who owns it, but across the map, whoever has joined the group. And the folks there have been really helpful. And we keep on sharing all the good and the bad things that we identify and find about the car. Also about like the recommendations on how best to get the most out of the car in terms of range, when to use regen, if you're going on trips, using fast charger versus slow charger. There are a lot of myths that are around, like don't charge up to 100% when you are using a DC fast charger. I'm still not sure because Google says in the same screen it says that yes, it is good to charge it because cell balancing happens, but then also it says that DC fast charging it doesn't. So I think EV overall in India is still pretty new, so everybody is trying to learn a lot of new things. While on my trips around the places, I met other EV owners usually while charging, and learned a great deal from them. One of the recent one was like I was struggling to plug in my charger, and basically it was not locking in. And veteran Nixon EV driver, he drove around 50,000 kilometers in his Nixon EV, and he was one of the early adopters, got the car in 2022, I think. And he recommended that hold the gun a little bit up until it locks, so that it basically finds its right place. And I tried that, and it worked completely fine. So I'm looking forward to sharing all such experiences. This one was, again, you will see in the video that there are there is some anxiety, but also there is that comfort that I know this kind of issues are supposed to happen. Didn't really break my heart because I was able to get to the airport. Yeah, that is all for now. Next, I also plan to create some videos around when to use regen, how much to use regen, and so on. Do let me know in comments what are the things you would like to see. And also, as you can see, I'm trying something different. This is the English version, so most of the recorded part is in English, but the live experience that I faced in the car while having the issue was all in Hindi because that's what I chose then. So let me know in the comments if you have any more recommendations about the videos, about the EVs in general, and also if you have any questions, feel free to contact me there. And if you are already a Curvv EV owner and you want to be part of these amazing groups on Facebook, you can easily find them. On WhatsApp, you can leave a comment and then I'll get back to you on the link so that you can join these groups and share your good and bad days there. Thank you. Keep driving, drive safe. See you in the next video. Thank you.